Wilmington, North Carolina. Known for its beaches and its historical downtown riverfront, it is also home to the Research Paranormal team. But that's not all. Wilmington has a reputation for being home to some of the most haunted locations in the country. The battleship North Carolina sits in the heart of the town and is visited by paranormal enthusiasts daily throughout the year. One of the most famous legends in the area is known as the Mako Light, where a train conductor was killed in an accident. And for many years, people claimed to see strange lights nearby until the tracks were pulled up in the 1970s. It was this story that was told to Research Paranormal's Mike Roberts as a child by his own father that first sparked his interest in paranormal and ghost stories.
So my dad was never a believer in ghosts, much less anything paranormal. One story he always told me about was the Mako Light. And his dad used to take him down to Mako to actually see it. And one night they actually did see it. And my dad said it started off real far in the distance down the track. And it would start off small. And then it would be this swinging motion back and forth, kind of like somebody was swinging a lantern. He said it actually came up close enough to the car door that he could actually read a comic book. I thought that was pretty amazing.
A simple phone call has now brought his adventure back to its roots. Join the team as they investigate the Wilmington Railroad Museum, a former train depot with connections to the infamous Mako Light, as well as its own stories of paranormal encounters. Will they encounter some experiences of their own? Or will the spirits of the Railroad Museum continue to elude investigators? Find out on this episode of Anomaly.
Hi, I'm Holly Saperstein. I'm the Executive Director of the Wilmington Railroad Museum. I've been in this position for about 4 years now. And the building we're in is an 1883 freight house. Originally, the Wilmington Weldon Railroad had this building as a freight house. The building actually changed hands to the ACL when the ACL name took over in about 1900. But at one point in time, the Wilmington and Weldon was the longest railroad in the world at 161.5 full miles. Glad we're here today because it's an interesting building. It's been some interesting occurrences, and I think it's going to be great to learn more.
Hi, my name is Hillary Spaziano, and I worked here for several months about a year ago. I heard lots of stories about the place, but it wasn't until I worked here that I started kind of experiencing it and seeing it for myself. In the mornings, front staff, you're here by yourself. So you come in, you're turning the lights on, the monitors, making sure foot pedals work for the exhibits. And then I would always felt kind of uneasy in that hallway area by the bathroom. That same feeling of something walking really closely behind me, and always like nothing there. There's a lot of other staff members I've had, things occur to them, like being closed in the bathroom and can't open the door. So it made me a little concerned about what's in there. For the most part, I think there's a lot of activity. I definitely think things happen in here. The most unafraid, I would say, is that hallway that leads from the back area to the bathroom hallways. I always never looked back and just got out as quick as I could from that area.
One of our other employees went at the end of the day, museum's closed. Nobody's here but myself and a couple of employees. And she went to go check the men's room to make sure that everything was good to go for the next day. Went to go in, and the door was slammed in her face as she opened it. Somebody on the inside slammed it. So she stepped back, let me know. She thought that there was probably still a customer in the building. So went and investigated that, and it was no one. It was no one.
Hi, my name is Kid. I work here at the Wilmington Railroad Museum. I've been here since about 2019, and I have had a handful of pretty big experiences that have happened in this museum. One of the main places that makes me feel incredibly uncomfortable in the museum is the men's bathroom. In there, it is just something I feel like I can only describe as evil. Like, that presence that is in the bathroom is not afraid of consequences. It's going to do what it wants to get what it wants, and it doesn't matter what it has to do in the process to get there. It's just this dark, heavy, evil, scary energy, and it kind of starts out in the main handicap stall in there. That's the left corner when you first walk in, and it sort of just seeps out into the adjacent corner and just takes up the whole back of the bathroom. And when you're standing in it, the hairs on the back of your neck will stand up. I'm not the only employee here who has experienced something with this bathroom. I think everyone has their own personal story with this particular bathroom.
More than once, we have had people, volunteers and employees, have heard like a wolf whistle to try to get somebody's attention. We have heard that a few times, and I've heard it myself. A couple of our employees even kind of put a name to the person who was whistling, and just for the fun of it, so that they can say, oh yeah, so-and-so is whistling again. Don't know who it is, but certainly it sounds like a man whistling. In the late 1800s, there was a fellow who was a sailor. He was on a shipping boat that had come over from Europe. He spoke very little English, and he had left the port, but it was just right down at the end of our building. And they were going to offload their cargo the next day, so he decided to go have a cold one downtown, cut through the yard, the freight yard here, and met up with a couple of people who had already been imbibing that night and decided to rob him. And so they pulled their guns on him. They were really pretty drunk, and he refused to hand over his money. And one of those people shot him and killed him. The two people who were involved in holding the gun on him and killed him were tried and released. They never served any time for his murder.
Talking about the Wilmington Railroad Museum is very interesting. Holly is a friend of mine. She's the executive director. We actually work on the ghost tours together. And she had told me some experiences that her staff and guests would having there. Hearing conversations when there's no one there, a whistling sound as if someone was maybe catcalling them, music, very old style music that would play unexplainably. They also had situations with a door being forcibly slammed shut on a staff member going into, I believe it was the men's room, to clean it. Other interesting history she talked about the place was that there was actually a homicide on the lot back in the late 1800s when it was actually part of the railroad. So there was some interest if there might be some residual effects of that violent crime there.
So this is our first stop, really right in the entrance of our main history hall. Over in this area, you'll see we have these two mannequins, a little bit creepy on their own. We have actually had guests report feeling touched or grabbed as they walk past those mannequins in this area of the history hall right here.
So guests and maybe staff as well have felt touched. Is it hair pulling, tap on the shoulder? What is it they think they're feeling?
So what I've heard the most is just like a light grab maybe on the shoulder. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any reports of hair being pulled,
Okay.
but just kind of body touches as they're walking past, almost as someone is trying to get their attention.
Just a little tap.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. Interesting. Generally in this area with the mannequins then.
Right in this little area over here, and it kind of intensifies, I guess, as they walk past them. They're already creepy, so that doesn't surprise me.
Any particular time of day, or is it just anytime the museum's open? Usually?
Anytime the museum's open, honestly, most of everything that happens here is in broad daylight. So the next stop on our tour is actually going to be the men's bathroom right here. So a lot of people report feeling really creepy energy over sort of in this big stall here into this corner over here. I always get I don't get scared in this museum, right? This is where I get scared in this museum, especially after dark is when things really happen in here. This is one of the very few things that's concentrated after dark, I think. The biggest word I can describe it with is evil, and I don't feel that way about the majority of the happenings in this museum. I personally have never seen anything over here. It is just the feeling of the hair on the back of my neck getting stiff, adrenaline kind of running through, even when the lights are on. We have had one employee have an experience where the door was actually slammed in her face. She was closing up for the day, and she was the one who had to come close up the men's room. And as she was leaving, she was flipping off the lights. I guess she was going to close the door and it just slammed shut about that much. And that is one of the first things that she experienced in this museum that kind of made her look at it a little bit differently. Yeah, it's not a great space to be in by yourself.
Is there anything in the history of the building that y'all know of that might give you feeling there's something uneasy or evil concentrated in this particular part of the building?
Honestly, no, I don't know the history of this specific space because after it was a freight depot, it sat vacant for a while. It was a series of shops. Each bay in the museum was a different shop. There were restaurants in here too. I don't even know if this was a restroom when it was shops.
Renovations or
Exactly. Yeah. So, and with renovations, a lot of people say that stirs up activity. And we were the last ones to kind of renovate pieces of the museum. We moved in 2007 and kind of took it from outlet shops into one big museum. It might have something to do with it, but I don't have anything specific in its history.
Interesting.
Have you heard any strange noises coming from this particular area in the bathroom? Or has it just been the strange feelings and the door incident?
So everything for me with this bathroom, it's just the feelings, and it's my body's response. It's not even a conscious response when I come in here. And that to me, that immediately alerts me, obviously. I guess there's something instinctual in there. But the bathroom next door, we have heard things in.
So what about this part of the museum that makes it feel evil?
This is really the only part of the museum that I have that kind of instinctual response, I guess. Everywhere else, even where I can feel things or have had experiences, it does not feel like it's out to get me. I rarely feel like these paranormal experiences that I have anywhere are evil. So as soon as I walked in here and felt that, it just really raised an eyebrow for me. It was something that I guess I don't feel anywhere else in this room.
After doing the tour with Kid, we thought the best next step would be to do a baseline sweep.
After conducting the baseline sweep, we were able to identify a few hot spots in the area for EMF, but closer inspection revealed it was all electrical related. They have a tremendous display of trains in there that actually run. In one room in particular, if you're a lover of trains, you're going to love this display. And of course, they were emitting a lot of high energy. There were no strange readings other than what you might expect to find from an outlet, something like that.
All right, so after hearing all the stories and the claims, it just feels like since they said a lot of stuff happens during the daytime and while the lights are on, it only makes sense that we do two types of investigations. We're going to split up into two teams, which is going to be myself, Kent, and Caitlin. And the other team is going to be Stephen, Laura, and Susan. My team is going to conduct the daytime lights on investigation, since all of the eyewitness reports have all claimed seeing it during the daytime with lights on, no special equipment needed, no special circumstances. And then we're going to allow the second team to come in and do their nighttime investigation. And then we're going to compare the results between the lights on, lights off, and see if there was a difference, or did we manage to catch more things under one certain circumstance. The thing for me is that anytime when a place claims that they've had activity, it's very important to note whether the activity happened during the day or during the night, rather than just going into a location and expecting to just turn off the lights and all of a sudden do a nighttime investigation when none of the reports were at nighttime. It just doesn't make sense. So I think we're going about it the proper way. I can't wait to see what we come up with. Are you guys getting any kind of readings at all that are out of the ordinary?
The only unusual things happened, it just shut down by itself a minute ago. I had to restart it. So
That just might be from being on.
yeah.
Not even a blip on a K2 meter? Not even a blip, huh? Okay. All right, who wants to ask the first question? The first question of the season, the first time the team is back together.
You should do it.
Me?
It has to be you.
Okay. You know what the first question always is, right?
Cut the air conditioner off?
Yeah.
Okay.
First question is always, is there anybody here with us? It's a sound of an airplane flying over, just in case the audio's picking that up.
Something I find really interesting based on my background is the display cabinet with the railroad police over here. There's also a log arrest book, for lack of better description, that has people that were arrested for various crimes and then what they were sentenced to. Sometimes people were sentenced to 30 days for jumping on a train. I think there was a children, 6, 9 years old, that were spanked at City Hall for that. A lot of violence was brought back then on some of these events. Curious if there's anything lingering. I know there was a couple of, at least one railroad police officer that was killed in this area in those days. I'd love for you to talk to me, since we share a similar background.
I don't know. Do you guys feel anything over here? Do you feel, I mean,
No, I don't feel anything uncomfortable, unusual.
I'll be honest. From even the time when we first took the tour, like I don't think I had like anything kind of like calling out or drawing me there, except for that little corner.
In that corner
Yep.
over there.
And I don't know what it is about it. It's just a kind of vibe. It's just there's something about it.
When we were here before with some of the folks that I work with that work here now, a couple of them had that same exact experience over here. I didn't, but they felt just some uneasiness.
I feel like there's something here, but we'll see. So I'm gonna throw audio down. That's hot. I would love to figure out how we could get over there. Because I'd really like to get this on that desk.
I just really jumped over here.
Oh, you are spiking.
It's gone. It was 30 and it's now it dropped.
26. Is it that right there?
I'm wondering, yeah, probably, yeah. Okay, yeah, we have a, most likely it's this here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
Okay. So there's an outlet there.
It's got multiple things plugged into it. It's like an extension cord.
But I'm at least gonna put this in as far as I can reach. Maybe this typewriter. I feel like that would be good. This also might be like a prime time. That didn't go off, but I swear it sounded like 2 keys typed. Like this didn't go off, but I swear, I don't know if like just that little bit of movement, maybe there's like some old
Something dropped. Scare yourself.
I feel like that would be good. This also might be like a prime time. We really weren't detecting anything at all. There was no blips on the equipment. There was no strange readings or anything like that. I did, however, hear what sounded like a key typing, like keys typing on an old typewriter. And Steven and I heard what sounded like a loud bang, and then we went to go chase it down. I think we went to the men's room, the women's bathroom, and a couple of other places, but nobody else seemed to hear the bang. Steven and I were closest to it, but Caitlin and Kent were like right there beside us and they didn't even hear it. So I'm not quite sure what made that sound. We weren't able to find a source of it. We'll let everything over here keep running. What was that?
That was me.
No. You heard that?
Yeah.
It sounded like something fell.
If I looked at you, I said,
Was it in the bathroom? Dude, I heard that.
I heard it too. It almost said it was metallic.
Yeah. I wonder. Well, that's still where it's supposed to be. Well, I definitely heard it.
See if you can walk over there without setting anything off. See if the toilet paper, because we just had to work with that, make sure the lid didn't pop open somehow on it, if it's still closed.
Somebody made one major deposit in there, buddy.
Anyway.
Okay, yeah, no, it's still intact.
Yeah, everything that I see is.
Yeah.
Could have been from the ladies'
I
restroom.
definitely heard it though.
It was too far away from the
kind of
ladies.
big, to be honest.
I did not hear it.
There's a tool room down here as well.
But it's. No, it didn't sound like it came from.
Could have been one of the doors slamming, maybe. Would have been that metallic sound.
No, it almost had a ring to it.
I mean, I definitely heard it.
No, I heard it too.
Both of you two guys did, yeah.
We decided to go ahead and continue investigating. We ran a couple of EVP sessions, a ghost box session, a couple of other experiments, as well as the thermal camera, but we weren't actually seeing or hearing anything, at least that we knew of. So we decided that at that time, it was time to let the night crew come in and do their investigation.
Is there anybody here with us tonight? If there's anybody here, I got a device here that you can speak, and it should catch your voice. What's your name? Did you have anything to do directly or indirectly with the railroad? If you can hear me, let us know you're here. Tap on something. Move something around.
Yeah.
Now, bathroom's supposed to be a place where I talked to both girls that said it was a real hot spot.
It's gonna blow me out.
I'm just moving our homie.
the extra noise from that.
Let her set up. Okay, so far you've done very little to impress me. Give us a name. What's your name? Here's a line. If you're in the stall, come talk to me.
Do you want me to bring my grid in here? Oh.
Wait, yep, there it is.
See it?
Yeah, it's next to you, but
Hold up your right hand.
My right hand?
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yep, right there.
It's to your right.
To my right?
Yep.
Here?
Yeah.
Yep. And it's like leaning at you, like it's like he's like leaning over with his shoulders out and stuff. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't do that for me, dude.
Can you kick him?
It's bigger than you, to be fair.
It
It's
is.
pretty
It
tall.
is bigger than you.
Yeah.
Is that thing record?
No, that's why he's got to stand by me.
Okay.
It'll kill the battery super fast.
Okay. Was it just
Dude, he is like beefing at you, dude.
I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. I ain't worried about him.
He's like, he looks angry at you, dude. Like, it looks like he wants to
It does.
fight
It looks
him.
like it's leaning towards him. It's definitely tall.
Yeah, he's posturing at you, and his hands keep moving. Like he's like balling up his fist.
He can ball it all he wants to. Guys on my side.
Punch him in the face, dude. He's to your right, and he's like maybe 4 inches taller than you. Punch him in the face.
I wonder if it'll happen if he touches him.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Can you just reach your hand out and
See if you touch
touch the wall or something?
The soul?
Yeah.
the other wall, the stall wall. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
Okay.
right there, you're almost touching it.
Yeah, it moved towards you when you did it. So maybe try the other side of the wall. Was that the inside? Try the outside. It might be outside of the wall. I'm trying to
Oh, it's
see.
reacting to that. It is reacting to that.
Go ahead and knock on the stall wall if you would.
Didn't you just say, like, when you walked over there, didn't you say, like, your hair was standing up when you walked over there?
Yeah.
Because he's there. He's, like, posturing at you. Like, in the beginning, it looked like when somebody walks up to you and they're, like, bending over, hunched over, like, puffing out their chest at you.
Well, I want to see it.
All right, hey, look, you know what? You stay in there. If you want to come out, you open the door. How about that?
Well, what is that?
That's whatever I was looking at. It wasn't there.
That's a human shit.
Where is it? Where is it?
Straight ahead. Wherever I'm looking.
Like
it's
right here?
straight ahead. Yes, right there where you're touching.
So that's in front of the door we just opened.
Yeah.
If I close the door, will it open?
Do you see it?
Oh, he's
Oh, did you see that? No, but when he did that, it grabbed at his arm and it went away.
sure did.
Huh?
It just grabbed at your arm.
Look.
Dude.
It grabbed it.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh, he's postured, son.
You see?
Here.
Oop.
Oh, dude, he don't like that.
Where you at?
Nope. He said no.
Did he take off?
Yeah.
When we opened the door and you guys were talking about, you could see it, like there was, for a flash while I was looking at you guys, there was like a white thing. And then it just disappeared.
That's her.
That's what it is.
So do this. Let's trade back because this is your session.
Okay.
Go ahead and do a quick EVP here.
Okay.
And then let's move on because you don't, like, I'm not saying that you can't trust that equipment,
Yeah, but.
but I am saying that you also can't let it.
All right, who's to the left of him right
You can't-
now?
you can't-
There's something by him.
Nobody. We're right here.
See,
It's back in the
You see
same
it?
spot.
it's on. No, it's on the other side of you now. Other hand, other arm. That one right there.
Where's
Oh,
your-
and it just moved when you put your arm up.
Where's your Bob Loft?
It's in my case.
Where's he at?
No, it's doing weird shit like it's climbing a wall or something.
When you put your arm out, it ducked. Now it's like.
Yeah, it's climbing the wall. It's weird looking.
It's like a giant spider.
But you also like don't want to let. Yeah, you also don't want to let this like hold up your
Look,
entire.
it's doing the thing again though. You see how it's facing him again?
Yeah, it looks like he wants to fight you, bro.
It seems to like him.
There's something about you that makes him want to fight.
She must be female then.
Oh,
Oh.
that was weird.
I think y'all are bonding or something. I don't know.
He's petting your head.
Yeah, he's super tall now.
Oh, he's
Hang on. Well, that's because she
Yeah.
moved, so it changed like.
It changes, yeah. Well, see, what I'm concerned about, you have reflections here. You have a reflection here.
Yeah, but it's not. If it was, listen, I'm going to tell you a couple of things about this. There are times where you're in it before it actually like locks onto you,
It lags.
where it doesn't even recognize you as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually wait for it to map.
But also, it does not. There's not a single one of us that's doing the motions that would cause the reflections for it to move like it's moving. My thoughts on the SLS figure. I think if people will keep in mind that the first rule of the SLS camera, the way the original Xbox Kinect was supposed to work, is that it's supposed to be sitting still. It was never meant to be handheld. So as you're walking around and as you're moving, it's constantly reading and it's having to recalculate each time. So there's just a good chance that it throws off some false positives. As I look at the footage, it's really hard for me to take it too seriously. There's no way I could present this as like concrete anything. Yes, it was interesting. I thought it was even more interesting when it kind of moved, when Steven put his hand out to react to it. But if you take a close look at the footage, one of the things that I'm noticing is if you know where the stalls are, the top part and the bottom feet of the stalls, it seems like it was trying to map out the stall. The shape of the stall was actually kind of giving off an indication of a neck and legs, and you can see that here on the video. And so it's really hard to say, but I do believe that this was more of a false positive than actually something being there. We'll show it to them, but it's there for them to decide.
Which is weird.
Is it which chair is it though? That one?
I'm guessing it's.
You want me to walk over there?
Yeah, you go over there and we'll see. Because it wasn't there a minute ago.
Is it here?
Yeah, no, it's opposite way.
So it's this one? This one?
So I think
Is it the corner here?
further to go more to your right, we the other way.
The-
Yes.
Okay, so go this way.
There you go. For more. So now you're like right where it's at.
Okay, so
You just stood in front of where
Yeah.
it is. Yep, that should be where it is.
so
So I'm mapping you and you're right in front of where it was.
this is just a stack of small suitcases.
And I have a dot there, but that's also where we pointed before that it had that activity head. Remember when it was all blue?
Yeah.
Seriously, what? It's just
If there's anyone in here, we sure would like to talk to you.
with Ron. Just me. Yes. Okay. There it goes. This thing, I usually let it run for a second because when you turn it on, sometimes it'll just start. It's almost like, and sometimes it doesn't. It's really weird. I've had it before where it said nothing for a while. So it's kind of a strange thing. Some people really like them.
He's not up there really hard. It wouldn't take anything like, Did I make you angry when I took the bear from over there? If I made you angry, knock the bear.
Notice it stopped talking all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. I've been paying attention to that.
So your camera went out, it stopped talking.
Maybe just got mad and left.
Mess with the wrong bear.
So tonight, I really didn't see too much. We did hear one thing in the hallway, which is apparently a hot spot.
We'll have to look at the tapes, listen to the audio recordings, see if something pops up there. One of the more interesting captures, if you will, at the train museum was Caitlin was filming in the women's bathroom, and she was the only one in there. But when we reviewed it later, it sounded like a conversation going on between several people. Couldn't really understand what they were saying. They may have been female voices, but even that was hard to detect. But it was definitely a conversation going on that Caitlin wasn't a part of and apparently didn't hear while she was in there.
So the next thing that we caught was something that Holly actually talked to us about. She claimed that people have heard like a wolf whistle. And at the time we didn't actually hear it, but after looking at the audio afterwards, we did hear that.
I'm gonna mess with the K2. I'm gonna count to 3. So after hearing the whistle sound, Laura suspected that it might be the sound of the security beeping on the door when people come in and out. So Kent and I went back down and spoke with Holly and walked through and actually recorded the sounds and tested it out of the door opening and closing. It was distinctively different. It was like a electronic beeping, electronic chirping sound. There was an interesting sound we caught during our investigation. And when I played it back, one of my investigators thought maybe to her it sounded like when the front door opens.
The chime.
The chime. And it definitely doesn't sound like that to me.
Okay.
But to just be 100% sure, I wanted you to demonstrate, open the door, let me record that sound.
Sure.
So that we can hear it and have it compared.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Where's the chime at?
You'll hear it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, let's do it one more time just so I have a nice. So they definitely didn't sound anything alike. And because one you could tell was the sound the door was making, and the other one was, it was a whistle.
Mike and Stephen were filming in the hallway, and they both heard a loud bang. The rest of us didn't. And they were trying to figure out the source of it. Stephen opened the door to step in the bathroom to see if maybe it had come from in there. And in review the tape later, as he enters, you hear what sounds like the word scratch on the camera audio. No one was scratched. Don't know how that might relate to anything, but it was an interesting pickup on the camera audio.
Just gonna pull me out.
Out of 15 things that we captured as possible anomalies, we were able to discount quite a few, down to about 3 or 4 that we really couldn't come up with a good explanation for. We met with Holly, played the information we had for her without trying to persuade her of what we thought we were hearing or seeing, and I think she felt validated with her and her staff that somebody was able to back up some of their sightings, things they've heard with what we were able to get on the recordings.